began today with a really quick journal entry. It was actually just a quick response to this quote. What is one way to defeat your enemy without fighting? What is one way to get your way without force? One of the most common student answers was persuasion. To manipulate your enemy into giving you what you want, into doing what you want them to do without force is a high skill, and it's hard to do. But it actually ties into our persuasive unit perfectly. Because tomorrow we're going to be looking at Patrick Henry and his very famous and very effective speech. In order to prepare for that speech, today we're going to talk about different types of appeals, of argument. Patrick Henry uses many of these appeals, and so today we're going to look at some more modern applications to get us ready to get into the Patrick Henry text tomorrow. The first appeal is the emotional appeal, pathos. Emotional appeals obviously target the emotions of the reader to create some kind of connection. It could be humor, it could be fear, it could be anger. Anything to get the listener or reader emotionally involved. This is very common in commercials, and you see this a lot in commercials. We looked at some different commercials because commercials are the ultimate form of persuasion, getting someone to take action, to go out, spend their own money on a product you've created. That is the ultimate form of persuasion, so we looked at how commercials use these different elements, and we, of course, began with pathos. Next, we looked at logical appeal. Now, there's a difference between logical appeal, and pathos, because whereas pathos uses the emotions to create some kind of emotional impact on the audience, logic or logos uses logic, stats, statistics, facts, personal experience, things of that nature to create a higher order logical response from the audience. We then, of course, looked at some commercials that use logic. The commercial we looked at was a Dish Network commercial. In the commercial, you had two TVs sitting side by side. They're both showing the same thing, and the commercial said you get the same thing with Dish that you get with DirecTV, except Dish is $20 cheaper. So it's acknowledging the opposition, but giving you a fact that it's $20 cheaper to show you that you should go with Dish and not DirecTV. That is a logical appeal. Next, we looked at ethical appeals and ethos. These are two closely related but distinct items. An ethical appeal is an argument that involves someone to reach someone's sense of morality, like those commercials with ASPC, Sarah McLachlan, and trying to get you to do the right thing and donate money to the Humane Society to help these poor animals because it's the right thing to do. Or any commercial that involves being green, being environment friendly. That is trying to get you to do the right thing, buy their product because it is environmentally friendly. Now, closely related to that is ethos. Ethos is trying to establish the speaker as ethically trustworthy and credible. That means you can believe what they're saying and you can believe they're trying to do the right thing. Now, closely related to that is car commercials that show they're, quote, green, unquote, gets you to want to do the right thing and help the environment, and gets you to trust them because, they're green and they're trying to do the right thing. So we talked about the three, and the next thing we did was test our knowledge. We showed 3 different commercials, and students needed to write down how those commercials apply to pathos, logos, and ethos. Some of them use more than one. And we then tied it all into what we will be reading tomorrow, which is the Patrick Henry speech, and how he uses these 3 elements in his speech to win over his audience. And that covers what we did today in class, Wednesday, November 9th. Thank you for listening.